Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm very excited to make this video today. I know it has been a while, but I've been really busy with school and everything else going on. But nonetheless, today we're going to be talking about how to actually make money with appointment setting in 2025. I know you guys want to know this, and also how to separate yourself from 99% of other people out there, because everybody else sucks at this, and I just want to help you. So let's get into it. So anyways, if you don't know who I am already, my name is Cage. I'm graduating college in about a month, and I've been making thousands of dollars online for the last 3 years, and it all started with appointment setting. So if you don't already know what appointment setting is, I want you to stop this video, bookmark it, go through my other videos, go see if I'm BS, go see if I actually know what I'm talking about, and then come back to this whenever you're actually ready to execute. So just a quick preference on this video too. I get so many questions every single day, every single week, asking me, Cage, how do I start this? What is the first step to actually take to become an appointment setter? How do I make money with this? How do I do this? How do I do that? Well, I know what you guys are thinking, because I was in the same position 3 years ago when I didn't really know what I was doing. I was broken, I was depressed, and I was just stagnant, and I hated it. I wasn't building anything for myself, and I just hated it, right? So I'm making this video as if I'm talking to myself 3 years ago, right? So this is gonna really hit hard. I was completely lost, and maybe you are too. So maybe this is the video that's meant for you. But so let's get started. How do you actually make money with appointment setting in 2025? Get out a pen and paper, make sure you're focused in a setting where you can actually focus. And yeah, let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is reflect and project, right? You cannot see where you're going to go if you can't see where you are. You can't see where you are if you don't take a step back and actually look. So what do I mean by this? I'm talking about the current situation that you're in. And first, you need to understand that all of the choices that you made in your life is kind of the reason where you are, right? You need to stop putting accountability on everybody else and start taking accountability for yourself. Understand that where you are right now is basically the sum of all your actions and the choices that you've made in your life. So, and I'm not saying that this is you, but a lot of the people that come to me do tend to look like this, or this is where they're at in their life. They're usually broke, usually making less than $2,000 a month. They probably don't have a 9 to 5 that they enjoy, or maybe even worse, they don't even work at all. They can't work. And they're probably looking for ways to make money online. Maybe they've seen something that, they believe to be true, or maybe they don't quite believe it yet and they need some more reassurance. And usually they're lazy. There are a lot of people that actually do come to me with a great work ethic, but most of them are lazy. They're not going to put in the real work. They're not going to think outside the box and, actually take the time to critically think, right? And so now we need to project after you've done this. You need to understand where you're at, right? So now this is you 4 months from now, right? You're energetic, you're consistently hitting $5,000 a month, you're building a future for yourself, and you're actually working smarter and not harder, right? This is the whole goal, essentially. Now, I know that this is true because we've done it with students. This is my buddy Grant. We've been working together for nearly 2 years now. I'll go into it more later, but this is where he was at before. He was working a 9 to 5. I think he was working as a medical assistant. Didn't like his job. He was about to quit. He was making $1,800, $2,000 a month. Little free time. Couldn't spend any time with his friends and his family. And he probably just felt really lost. He also had just invested $8,800 into a program and got 0 results. 0. No placement. I mean, he learned the skill a little bit, but we had to refine that. We had to put it into action. And then he also had no sense of community. After, Grant's now making his own schedule. He works on his own time. He makes 4 to 5K a month consistently, sometimes upwards to 7. He can work anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter. Just has to have a phone, his laptop, Wi-Fi connection, whatever it is. And he can spend a lot more time with his family, which was a real big one when it came for him. And then he's also building a real skill set. So if anybody took this away from him, or let's say he lost the opportunity or he wanted to go find another gig to work with, he has the skills necessary. He can always make 5 grand a month whenever he wants to. He can stop working, build up cash for 6 months, stop working for the next 8 months, and just live and then go work again, right? He always has that skill. Nobody can take that away from him. And he also now works with a very successful team, and he knows multiple millionaires. He chats with them. He gets on calls with his business owner. They have a great relationship now. So this is how he did this, right? It's very simple, guys. Very, very simple. You have a framework or the model. And I think this is the first YouTube video that I ever made was over this. And this is essentially how I got to 7 figures in cash collected with appointment setting. It's a step-by-step framework. If you haven't already watched the video, go watch it. It's sauce. But I'll briefly explain it real quick. So you got the opener, you got build report or report building, diagnose, transition. These 3 kind of go together. Then you kind of have your pitch, propose a call, calendar sent, and then if they don't are already booked into the call, follow up, right? And then here's the follow-up framework. Go watch that video, it's sauce. And then what we did with Grant was we placed him inside of a client's business. And we didn't do the regular commission structure that all these other appointment setters are like basically having to get, right? You need to negotiate. You need to be able to negotiate with your boss or with your client that, this isn't worth your time, right? So this is what we did for Grant. We talked to our client. We were like, yeah, the regular 5% commission does not work. And we set up custom commissions based on the product's price, right? So we would do 20% on direct DM closes without a closer. We'd do 10% for products under $1,000, and then we'd do 5% for products over $3,000. You need to have this because it's just not really worth it unless you're working for a really good company or you're like just an amazing appointment setter. You need to have a good deal structure to the point where you can actually make good money, because it's not really worth it if you're just going to be making 4% commission on all cash collected. It's just not. And then we also have skill maxing, right? This is, I kind of just was bugging with this one, but just is staying consistent, right? Going over this framework, putting it to action, staying consistent, repeating, and just essentially just getting better. Here's some more proof. He was in this program, same program that I went through. I got placed. He didn't, and I really wanted to help him out. And these guys basically scammed him, right? And he was able to get a 30% refund. So that's kind of bullshit on an $8,800 investment. But yeah, here's more proof. Here's his commission sheet. I don't really want to show too much, but first month, I'm probably going to have to block some of these out, but 5.5K, second month, like 4K, third month, 6,300. Total 2024, he did like 377 cash collected, which is insane, over $500,000. Here's like probably a worse month where he only did 1.4K. He probably just wasn't working that much, or the marketing wasn't too hot. 5,500 month, 4,400 month, and now he's still working, right? So it does work. It's real. We're going into 2025, and this kid's making $5,000 a month consistently. It's nuts. And this is how you do it. So how do you get to this point? How do I do what Cage and Grant did? Like, how do I first learn? But where do I start? Like, I don't even know where to start, Cage. 3 steps, super simple, guys. You have to realize that you have time at your advantage, okay? So you need to be trading your time for money at this point. Maybe if you're working like an outside job on the side, you can start studying, right? At the core, you're going to be learning a skill, right? Because you can't really make money without providing value, and you can provide value with the skill. So the skill is appointment setting, and you need to allow yourself at least like 1 to 2 weeks of research to actually see if this idea is feasible. So don't go by what I'm telling you. Go by what you're thinking for yourself. Okay, is appointment setting even a real thing? Can you even make money with this? I'm seeing this guy, he's showing me that like people are making money with this, but I need to see for myself. Go do that research. Do your own due diligence, okay? After the first week, and this can be with any other like business model or idea. But after the first week, I want you to give yourself 2 to 4 weeks to study everything there is to know, just with free resources. Okay, don't purchase anything, and then only after that begin executing. Actually, start putting it into action. Right, start sending the emails and the outreach messages that you need to. Start pitching your clients. You know, just move on to the next step, right? Once you've done a decent amount of studying, obviously you're not going to be the best, but when you actually start practicing, that's when that's when you get good, right? So, connections. So getting your foot in the door is the most important step, because you have to realize when a business owner with a big Instagram page or a big Facebook page is going to hire an appointment setter, they need to trust that person. They need to be able to trust the person with a login, with their customer details, all their information, like their literal chat boxes with other creators and stuff. It's a pretty big deal. So just sending a typical, "Hey, are you looking for an appointment setter? I would love to help you out." You're not going to get noticed. And on top of that, there's probably other setters that are in the DMs that are going to like hide the messages from the QBO because they see you as competition. So first step first, here's some sauce. I don't like to get like setting gigs over Instagram because there's usually setters in the inbox. I like to do like cold email outreach or like LinkedIn, something else that's like off the platform and that usually like is going straight to the person, or not to like another setter or a VA. So I know getting your foot in the door can be really hard. That is, if you don't know how to do it, right? So first step, stop being like everyone else. Stop sending those same outreach messages. "Hey, can I work as a setter?" Guys, you need to spice it up. You need to do like 30 minutes, an hour of work, research this person, write them a good like strategy to make them money with appointment setting. Do something, right, to provide value first. Second, stop being a weirdo. Okay, this is just, I don't even need to explain this anymore. Just stop being a weirdo. And then give before you take, right? Just like I was saying, provide them with a new appointment setting strategy. Maybe you're, explaining like the live to, take action strategy, or whatever it is. Give before you take, because they're gonna see you as a valuable person, and they're gonna be like, okay, maybe this guy separates himself from 90% of other people that are trying to be my setter, and I can actually see this guy's putting in like hard work and he didn't even ask for anything in return, right? So that's what you need to do. Put in some hard work, actually do some decent prospecting. And then third is working with expert feedback. Work by itself is just work, right? You might be getting something done, you might not, but work with feedback is better, right? You can actually see what other people are thinking about it. You kind of can understand what the market wants, what these business owners are wanting, but then work with expert feedback. Like, you have somebody on your side that's done it before. It just essentially decreases this, like the time to succeed, by tenfold, right? Instead of just, you're like a linear kind of a path right here. Work with expert feedback. It goes like that, right? So you need someone that can show you a proven system. You need someone to tell you when you're wrong, and someone that's not afraid to. And then you also need someone that's, can essentially do it better than you. Somebody that already knows the game, they're already really good, and then they also teach or something like that. And this is my whole thought process about this, right? So especially when it comes to work with expert feedback, right? You have your hypothesis. So maybe you learned a new opener and you want to try it out, right? So you send 10 DMs. That's your experiment, okay? That's your whole experience. Boom, get the results back. See how many people you get. You see if you get good responses. See how many people respond. How many people opened it. How many people reply back with like something positive or more value in exchange. Look at the results. Take a conclusion. See if it was good. And then make a new hypothesis. Improve on that every single time. You need to be improving, right? if you're just doing work without anybody telling you like what you're doing wrong or like how you could do it better, you're kind of just like going in this loop and not really like making any progress. Like like you're making progress, but the time that it takes to make progress is so much longer. When you could just, instead of sending these DMs, ask him if this would work, and then like he's like, no, like you shouldn't do that and waste your time. You should try sending 10 of this instead, and then the process repeats so much faster and you get way better at the thing that you're doing. So yeah, that's pretty much how to make money online in 2025. It's very simple. Research, do your study, actually get good at the skill. This takes time. Build connections because you need to get your foot in the door. No one's just gonna let a stranger hop in their Instagram DMs or their Facebook account and then just start talking to their customers. Like that doesn't happen. So talk to the people that you do know. If you don't know anybody, start making connections and do these things. So stop being like everyone else. Stop being a weirdo. Give before you take. And then go find somebody that actually knows what they're talking about and go work with him and go see and try to learn and get way better, way faster. Like that's literally the play, right? This is what I did. Hell, I spent a ton of money doing it, but you know, it increased. Like I probably would have been exactly where I was at, like maybe not 2 years ago, but like a year ago, I would probably be at like stuck at like $2,000 a month. So there it is, guys. That's the best way, in my opinion, to make money online in 2025. So with appointment setting. And I know there's like so many other ways to make money online. And, you know, I've tried about just everything in the book, but appointment setting was the clearest to me and it was the easiest path for me. And I think that it still is. It's still working for other people. It's still working for my students. And I think that it could also work for you too. So if you're looking for something or if you're trying to find something that you want to pour your passion into, I think that appointment setting is one of like the coolest things ever because you get to build your skills, you get to build relationships, and you get to just improve on your craft, right? And just work, right? Put your energy to something. But anyways, I also just started my newsletter where I'm going to be sharing a ton of value and possibly some free positions. So go subscribe to that. It's going to be down below in the description. And I'll just be sharing a ton of heat on there as well. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. And, you know, as much as I did making it, until next time, later.